But there are still people who know that he lies, know that he cheats, know that he's a hypocrite, know that he is basically a actor. He's selling a con to make money. He's creating a fantasy of a man that does exist, but he isn't the man that exists in that. He does not fulfill those requirements. But let's get right into it. So those that have joined me, my name is Ngozi. I am a mental health and leadership expert, psychotherapist, social worker, and entrepreneur. And I am passionate about everything mental health, everything faith, and everything, I guess, the Black community, you can say. So this week, we all know, if you don't know, where are you? No. If you don't know, there's a woman called DaNaia Jackson. She is a 33-year-old Black woman in America who was married to a relationship guru called Derrick Jaxn. Derrick Jaxn had a cheat gate, if you want to call it that, in 2021, where he was exposed by a famous YouTuber called Tasha K for cheating on his wife with many women. Now, when you hear that, you might think, okay, he ain't the first to do that, right? No, he is not. He's not the first to cheat on his wife. That wasn't the full issue. It was the fact that he was one of the only relationship gurus that acted like his sugar honey iced tea don't stink. There was a sense that he wasn't the guys he was talking about. Most women that followed him because they felt he was like a unicorn. Whereas there was other guys in the space that he's also collaborated with, like Stephen Speaks and Tony Gaskins. They've owned up to the things that they've done. So there's no one under the illusion that they're this perfect guy. You know, they're honorable men right now. But I think what the issue with Derrick Jaxn is, and I think, is that he created a relatable archetype, we first thought, that's really unrealistic. And I think a lot of women are still in bondage with that because people are still following him. Maybe they don't know, because reality is, look, let's just be honest, you can have a scandal, unless it's P or R, you can kind of get through the scandal because people forget, people have short attention spans, and there's people that don't know you. There's people this week that I spoke about that don't know this couple. So there's a lot of people within the Black community, within other communities, that don't know this and will find him, see his videos. Not every single person researches every single person they follow. Like, I don't even do that. I do mostly. So you could literally follow this person and not know he's had any scandal, not know that he's lying. He can create a whole new set of followings of people who take him at his word. But there are still people who know that he lies, know that he cheats, know that he's a hypocrite, know that he is basically a actor. He's selling a con to make money. He's creating a fantasy of a man that does exist, but he isn't the man that exists in that. He does not fulfill those requirements, because the issue is there's people that talk about an archetype of a guy that they don't even fulfill, because there are men that do that. But he wasn't that, but he portrayed himself. Did he say that he was? Maybe not. Maybe in a court of law, he could arguably say that he did not say that he was that, but he alluded to it. He didn't say he wasn't that, right? He alluded to it. Now, that aside, that to me is the biggest issue. How he treated his wife was disgusting, but that is not a unfamiliar story, unfortunately. That is not a, oh my God, it's like, boy, it happens, right? And that is what is sad, that for many of us, it's like, this is not a unique story. I think it's unique because of some of the circumstances surrounding DaNaia Jackson. A lot of people judged her. I can actually say I wasn't in that camp. I can say that. It's not like, people say that when it's like, I was not in that camp. When I say judged her, I don't mean like, you can have an opinion. I mean, I didn't cuss her and insult her, I think she was crazy. I said this woman is traumatized from the bonnet gate, from the helmet of salvation. I could tell that she was just overflooded with so much what was going on, overstimulated. There was a lot happening. And we find out that during that time where people thought she was crazy, she found out she was pregnant, and she was dealing with grief and dealing with the cheating publicly. And people are so quick to, I don't know, it's not judge. People are so quick to denounce a person, and majority of people cannot would not have survived in a situation. Let me be very honest with you, right? There is a psychology behind people who are quick to point out the flaws of others and cannot take criticism themselves. Because most people, even YouTubers that are talking about her, I've not watched many videos because I said, you know what? Everyone's got a right to their opinion, and I'm not saying my opinion is the right opinion, but I just don't know how you can watch the video and then insult her and cuss her. She's taken accountability. I'm going to share a clip, but I really want to just give a sense of my thoughts and feelings before I even show the clip. She's taken accountability. She'd owned up to her to stuff that she'd owned up to. There may be other stuff she can't or she won't, or she doesn't need to, or she can't because she's in a divorce. But from my opinion, she was accountable. She did what a lot of women do, maybe to another extreme, and she's growing and learning, right? What is there to cuss and insult? Like you can do a thesis and dissertation of why. She's already told you why. Some people are doing like their psychoanalysis. Like, bro, you're not psychoanalysts. She's told you that she was abandoned by her father. She was odd, and then literally 3 weeks after met this guy. He took her V because obviously, well, she was violated, so that's not, she was still a V. He took her. So there's so many things that build on top, and you have to understand any trauma that you experience is presented in different ways. Somebody else's trauma of being abandoned may not have presented itself in a way where she chases a man. It may have. Some people shut down and don't want to be with anybody at all. Some people get promiscuous. She was in a weird way. She was promiscuous with Derrick Jaxn before they got married. Some people go on a wild promiscuous spree. There's so many different ways that trauma shows up. The symptoms are always different. So it's really important to understand that the triggers, the traumas, the things that happen in your life that are adversities will manifest in very different forms and many different ways.